Welcome back already. More WPC action kicking off now. We've got IG back in China, or at least Chuan back in China. He was in Malaysia for some time. Missed that last match or two, but he's now here for IG versus Orenda. Orenda team probably not many of you have heard of. They're an upcoming amateur team. They actually came through the amateur qualifier for the tournament, so they're one of the lesser known teams, but that doesn't mean they can't win games. They've actually taken games off of some decent teams. They took a game off of Titan. They drew 1-1, and I think they actually beat CIS, the team which Black is standing in for. So definitely a team not to be underestimated, and we'll see exactly what they've got planned here when they're taking on a big dog in China. It's IG up against Orenda. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. Hope you guys are enjoying the game so far tonight. I know I sure am. We were very lucky with that DK versus LGD series to kick things off earlier today, and we've now got two-game series coming your way. This one, probably not one of the more hyped up ones for today, but the one at the end of the day, IG versus Newbie. I'm looking forward to that one. The last time those two teams met in Star Ladder, it was to fight over the last spot to go to the Star Ladder Land Finals in Kiev, and that was a huge best-of-3 series. It was so close, so tight. Newbie lost the series 2-1, but boy, could have gone either way. So I'm looking for the rematch. I imagine Newbie will be thinking, like, let's get some revenge. We want to get back at IG, who took their spot in Kiev. So we'll get ourselves in the game. As you guys can see, we're here with our draft screen. Well, when I say our draft screen, I mean WPC's draft screen. But when I say WPC's draft screen, I mean Dream League's draft screen. This looks awfully bloody familiar. It is going to be IG playing over on the Dire side for Game 1. Orenda on the Radiant. And Orenda, well, banning out the Nature's Prophet, the Bat Rider, two of YYF's commonly played offlane heroes. And Prophet actually has been played a few times even as a safe lane farmer for Luo. So some slightly targeted bans there. But this first ban's very standard. Like an Ember Spirit banned out by the IG side. So they don't want to have to deal with either of those two heroes. Both considered kind of like some of your tier 1 picks. As we'll get things underway. It is going to be a Centaur first pick. So nothing too out of the ordinary there. The big option was Centaur or Invoker, I feel, as far as your first picks go. And Centaur's really been proven to be one of the go-to offlane heroes just because of how little farm he needs, I feel, is the big thing. And also just how high impact he can be with little farm. All you need is that fast Blink Dagger. Kind of like a Sand King in the jungle, but I think Sand King is a bit different to Centaur in that in the ultimate, I mean, the ultimate is the big thing there. Stampede being global can help out anyone on the map, saves lives. It goes through stuff like Hex and tons of slows, so I mean, it's pretty much a counter to Hex and tons of other spells, not to mention it can be used to initiate as well as to counter-initiate, to just disengage. It's got so many useful applications here. And IG, well, Invoker and Shadow Shaman, I'm sure a lot of people are like, 430 Invoker, let's go, best Invoker out there, but I'm here to tell you it may not be a 430 Invoker. Not wanting to dampen the mood, but Luo's been playing a lot of Invoker when they run it as a safe lane farmer. They go that Exort build, they go the Midas, Necro Books, and they go for this mid-game push. And with a Shadow Shaman on their team, it's quite likely they look to go for that mid-game Exort Invoker, the Zoo army strategy of pushing, where you get Forward Spirits, Necro Books, Serpent Wards, lay everything out, and just make it impossible to engage into. And I think that's kind of what IG are maybe gearing up for with this draft of theirs. They still could look to run the Invoker mid lane. They can still go for a Quaswex Invoker and pick up a standard carry, but that's definitely what they've been playing a lot of over the past sort of 3 or 4 weeks with the Invoker. So we'll see if it's going to be 430 on the Invoker or not. And I think it's 50-50 at this point. I think it's something where it's not even worth really speculating on who's going to be playing the Invoker. It's probably more worth speculating on, are they going for the Invoker push strat, or are they just going to be doing like a more standard solo mid Invoker? They can still go mid Exort Invoker. They've got potential set up from a Shackles from the Shadow Shaman and whatever other later on heroes they pick. And you see Orenda, they ban out the 430 puck. They've done some of their homework. They know IG like to play that safe lane Invoker. So not necessarily... They know fully well that IG are not necessarily just running that mid as your standard solo mid Invoker. And we'll see exactly what Faith wants to pick. He's your drafter, your captain for this IG team, as long as I can remember. Going way, way back, he's been leading the reins here in IG. And he's really one of those kind of unsung heroes of IG, I feel. He never gets huge credit. I feel like the first time he really got put in the spotlight was when IG won TI2 and he played some sick Disruptor in one game. That was back when Disruptor was like not really a commonly picked hero, and he pulled out this Disruptor and was just like wreaking havoc all over the place. But even after that, like, he quickly fell off the radar again, but he's been consistently a solid captain, like a really good captain. I would put him second only to like Zhao Wei as far as captains go. Within China. Like, he's a really good leader. He's a great drafter as well, and that's something which is a true asset to this IG team. There's a reason he's been kept around for so long and that they don't want to get rid of him. So we'll see a Life Silicate picked up by IG. Oh, I keep forgetting. Not meant to spoil picks, guys. Not meant to spoil picks. But it's going to be AA Center for Orenda. They're going to go into a Lifestealer third pick for IG. So generally speaking, YYF plays the Lifesteal. This is kind of the one time where IG swap around their roles. Luo, the carry player for the team, with YYF in the off lane. But in the past, whenever they get the Lifestealer, it's been like Luo saying, okay, I'll go off lane. YYF, you take the Lifestealer, just because of how much of a signature hero of YYF this is. Not to mention it is a hero who can theoretically go offlane, especially if you go for something kind of offensive, although with Shadow Shaman, with his bad base movement speed, with his just generally bad spells for offensive tri lanes, probably not going to be an offensive tri lane with the Lifestealer. So we'll see what the next couple of picks for the two teams are going to be. Alright, I've covered up my screen. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just watching what you guys are watching. A good old Chinese stream. Big shout out, of course, to WPC for putting on this tournament. For those of you who don't know much about WPC, it's huge. It's a big deal. The Western teams over the last few days, you've probably been watching some of their games. They're competing over spots to get into the main round of 8 tournament. The way it works is that there's, well, I'll start with, let's look at it from a big scope. There's $250,000 in prize money. Yeah, $250,000 US dollars in prize money. Not exactly. It's depends on the conversion rate, but that's roughly what it is. It's absolutely massive. It's, I think, the biggest prize pool at this point outside of the international. I think Starlight is getting close to that point, but I think they're like around the 210, 215 mark. And it's a Western and Eastern group stage, so there's 5 Western teams: Empire, Alliance, Fnatic, Cloud9, and Team Sigma Dog, or Dogma, as we like to call them. They were competing over 2 spots to go to China, so there's 5 teams cut down to 2 from the West and from China. It's 12 teams in a group stage, cutting down to 6 teams. So 6 of the 12 teams will advance to the group stage from the Eastern teams, and 2 of the 5 will advance from the Western teams. The Western teams, Cloud9 won. They're going through as the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed still undecided. Alliance, Empire, and Dogma are going to fight over that in some tiebreaker matches. So there'll be some tiebreaker best of ones. I believe those will be tomorrow on April 14th. So be sure to tune in for those. But for now, guys, there's going to be tons of action and group stage matches coming out from the Chinese and well, not all Chinese teams in the Eastern groups. There's also the Malaysians. Titan were in China for a while, and later on, I think early May is when Orange Esports will be going to China as well to compete in the WPC. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Big group stage, cut down to 8 teams, and then we get into our juicy part, the playoffs. That's where things gets really fun here. But for now, I'm looking at our 2 drafts. IG versus Orenda. IG sitting pretty well in the standings, I believe. Have they actually, well, they're not doing fantastic. They actually lost 2-0 to Titan the other day. That was without Chuan, unfortunately, but a 2-0 loss there can kind of hurt them as far as finishing in the top 3 to 4, which for seeding reasons, being in the top couple spots is actually quite important. You're guaranteed a much easier road to the finals, especially you want to finish in the top 3, because the way the playoffs works is that the top 3 teams from the Asian group, as well as the top 1 team from the Western group, get put into some like super group where they're guaranteed to be like the top 4 seeds of the playoff bracket, and they verse the bottom 4 seeds in the first round. So if you're finishing in that top 4, which is top 3 in Asia or first in Europe, you get a much easier playoff bracket. That's where IG losing to Titan could theoretically hurt them in the long run, because as far as the top 3 goes, you've got DK, you've got IG, you've got Vici Gaming, you've got Newbie probably as your top contenders, and those 4 teams will be fighting over those 3 spots. And then you've got your wildcard teams like LGD, even Titan, who ended up getting a decent score. I think they'll struggle to get top 3, but they should be able to finish top 6 with how they did in China. Well, wait. All right, I will hold you to that, Kylie. Kylie Wiley, I saw what you wrote. I will do that. I'm gonna write a mental note. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna do, but if it happens, I will do it. I don't know if you know something that I don't about what's gonna be going on in this game before the creep spawns, but we're gonna see IG go into a Nyx Assassin. That's potentially their off lane here if they want to run the Invoker mid and the Lifesteal in the safe lane. Or at the same time, it can easily be their 4 position support. So IG have options available to them. Chuan just looking bored. He's like, Faith man, this draft's taking too long. What's the dealio? I want to play some Dota. Where's my Lina? Chuan's Lina is the one thing I'll always remember. He plays a pretty beastly Lina. We'll get ourselves into the last few picks. Orenda picked themselves up a true hard carry in the Spectre. Gives them some more global ganking potential as well, with the Spectre and the Storm Spirit. Not to mention Stampede anywhere on the map. AA with an Ice Blast. All 4 of these heroes, in some sense, have some global presence. So nice synergy, some nice synergy with this Orenda draft. At the same time, they need to have a good laning stage. They need to have a way of dealing with a potential 5-man push from IG. And IG, they snap pick the Weaver. So this puts Nyx onto a support role. Also gives a bit of a curious question as to what the lanes are going to be for IG when they haven't got a true offlaner. Weaver definitely can offlane. So can the Lifestealer. So can the Invoker. But none of them are true offlane specialists. And the last pick for Orenda are going to be a Dazzle. To get that defensive support hero to help team up with the Spectres. We'll see exactly what IG have in mind. Chuan going to be playing the Spectre. Sorry, Chuan going to be playing the Nyx Assassin. I was thinking Spectre in my mind, but I was looking at Nyx Assassin. And well, we'll see what Nyx does here. As it's going to be IG. Ferrari 430 Invoker. Here we go. I'm looking forward to this one. As we'll get ourselves into the game. It's going to be IG versus Orenda. IG looking for some wins after their recent losses to Titan. They really need to start turning things around here. As we'll see the team there. IG looking pretty calm. They know this is not the game that they need to show up for today. This is, in theory, a fairly straightforward game for them. The big game comes later. That's when they take on Newbie. That's going to be the true test. Chuan back in China now. They no longer have a stand-in for him. They've got their full team. So IG, hopefully in full force. As we'll get ourselves in the game. Be sure to let everyone know, guys. WPC action continuing. You get yourself a Ferrari 430 Invoker. As we'll get ourselves into this draft with lanes in just a second now. Orenda, definitely the team, the heavy underdogs coming into this one. And, there we go. Are we going to see any kills before the siren? That's the big question.
30 seconds to battle.
Good 30 seconds. All right, guys. Looks like no one's doing anything crazy here. We'll introduce our two teams now, as we've got a second to go. We're going to see on the Radiant side, Orenda, the upcoming amateur team from China. We've got ZYF playing the center and the offlane. We've got 290, the guy with a bit of a... He's got some swag. I've seen him showing off to the camera. He's been playing your Stormsphere at mid. Yim going to be playing the Spectre. We've got Dazzle in the hands of Yi. And then finally, on the Ancient Apparition, it's going to be Lion Lee. On the AA as a support. Over on the Dire side, the more well-known team, it's Invictus Gaming. We've got YYF on an off-lane Lifestealer, his signature hero, 430, playing his signature hero, the Invoker. Then we look towards the tri-lane. Faith on Shadow Shaman, Nyx in the hands of Chuan, and then finally, Z or Luo playing the Weaver. And Chuan's played a lot of Nyx Assassin. It used to primarily be run as a 4-position support before teams started using him as an off-laner, and that's where Chuan was playing this hero all the time for quite some time. And, well, we'll see. No kills before the Horn, unfortunately. I do apologize to you, Kylie Wiley. Denied. No kills for you. And so it's going to be a pretty standard tri-lane versus off-lane setup from both the two teams here. We'll see YYF getting zoned out pretty heavily. Similar story for the Centaur, though, being on the Radiant side, you always do get that slightly easier access to creep experience as well as last hits. Lewis so far, not missing a last hit, although he's missing a deny, but not missing any of these last hits, although he hasn't got too much farm. Chuan's going to go for a stack here. Fairly standard stuff from the get-go here, as Radiant supports do the exact same thing. So pretty much both teams mirroring one another. Really just highlights kind of the standard way to play when you go for the defensive tri-lanes. You have one support zoning out the offlaner, the other support stacking these neutrals, and I think both these two supports are going to go for a pull. So with the double stack there, this should deny most of the creep wave, and anything that doesn't get denied, you can channel on through for the Radiant team with this camp here. For the Dire team, if you really need to, or you can channel this big camp over here. A little trickier to do, but definitely potential for that. And Centaur realizing he can't do too much. And this is where around the 2-minute mark, your offlane heroes, especially on the Radiant side, will go check this rune, see what the 2-minute rune is going to be, and also often they'll see them just position themselves up here. 1, they can stack Ancients, and 2, they can scout out smoke gank, because often the Dire supports will try smoke gank pass, and you're on the high ground, you spot out the smoke from the high ground, and you don't put yourself in any danger. That's something that a Hyo does all the time on his offlane center, and I think he plays the offlane center almost better than anyone at the time being. As our 2-minute rune will spawn, ZYF comes in, finds himself an illusion room. This is pretty handy. You can send the illusions to go scout, get some info, block the pulls here. First blood actually happens mid lane. Ferrari gets a solo kill on the Storm Spirit. Ay, Ferrari 430, the pianist in the mid lane with that Invoker, gets himself an early first blood. Storm Spirit getting somewhat caught out there by the looks of things and just outplayed in the 1v1 matchup. Not something you'd expect to normally happen, but that's where Ferrari's skills come into play. This guy's a wily veteran and not someone to be underestimated. So immediate TP back in from the Storm Spirit. Ferrari is out of regen for the most part, but we'll see. Storm Spirit now with a bit of an edge as far as actually having HP and mana in this mid lane. But Ferrari with the first blood, he brings himself a salve, boots as well. And this will make his time a lot easier in the mid lane. And the Radiant team, they're smoking supports. They're going to look around for a smoke gank. But Chuan, he's going to scout him out. They're going to walk right into each other. Smoke on smoke. Chuan scouts him out. This is actually a win for IG. Sure, they used the smoke there, but they scout out a 2-hero rotation coming for their Invoker. And they spoil the gank, so... I think if Chuan just waits a bit longer and scouts him from the high ground before using smoke, it's an even bigger win, but hey, that's good enough for him. He prevents Invoker from going down. Invoker's already mostly won this mid lane. They're actually going to go in for a kill here. The cold snap into an impale. 290 may be in trouble. He's still got a lot of bottle charges here. Needs to start proccing them. The right click damage is there. Doesn't get any chance to use them. Used one, but immediately got cancelled. AA 2 still in the rotation. Nice gank from IG. And that's something which Storm maybe should have seen coming. But for Orenda, that's a bit of a worry. This mid lane going really bad for them. A hero like Storm Spirit, who's very dependent on getting a good start and almost not necessarily snowballing. You can always, once you hit 6, start ganking the other lanes, but you're definitely dependent on getting that level 6 somewhat uncontested. But he's now a full 2 levels, or at least a level and a half behind the Invoker in the mid lane. And that's where Invoker can go for more solo kills if he wants to go super aggressive. He's gone for the Quas Wex build, and this means the Storm, before he hits level 6, may have mana problems as far as getting hit by an EMP, although right now it's just the Tornado Cold Snap combo coming into play. YYF now on the offlane. He's actually got a ton out of this lane. He's level 4.5. Looking at the Centaur, just a bit over level 3, so YYF getting more out of the offlane than his counterpart, and IG, they're going to start pushing now. So I'm going to just scout out the trees there, and he wasn't actually trying to come out from behind. He was actually looking for the Centaur to see if Centaur was there, trying to just leech experience or hide in the trees, so... Just Chuan being as thorough as possible. Scouting out every possible place for the Centaur to be. Once they see him and they back off, they realize, hey, look, this tower's ours. And this is a fantastic start for IG. They're going to get a T1 tower. They've got 2 kills on the mid lane on the Storm Spirit. And that's... tower did not last yet. That's the one thing that hasn't gone their way is missing the last hit on the tower for Luo. But he's still got himself up to 1,300 gold. May see a Midas build come out with him based on how well this start's gone. It'll still be like a 6-7 minute Midas, which is perfectly fine for a Weaver. Looks like a TP mid. Nyx is going to go for another gank because he got smoke. Doesn't look like it, but I don't think he needs smoke. The Radiant wards are at bottom lane. That's where at least the one Observer ward is. Cold Snap, EMP. This is actually a bit too early. He's trying to force out the haste rune. That's what he's thinking there. He sees the haste rune and Chuan's like, well, we can't actually kill him when he's got a haste unless we chain stun him, but you can dispel the haste using Tornado, but that's going to be on cooldown for some time. So Chuan's going to be a bit patient here. Another smoke? No, just some Observer wards coming out. It looks like Chuan will pick those up. Faith buying them though. And in the offlane, wow, yeah, level 5.5. He's having a fantastic time. Centaur not doing too bad, all things considered. This is often what you'd expect your Centaur to be at. I think it's not so much that Centaur's doing badly, it's just that Lifesteal's doing ridiculously well. And who needs Chuan? Ferrari says, I got this on my own, bro. Chuan, go back to doing what you were doing. No food in this lane for you. Maybe Yi could become some food, though. He's actually going to rotate in. Pops a ward now, but this ward almost too late to protect him. And oh, Chuan actually pops a ward on top of the exact same spot. So that's a nice little bit of info for Orenda. They know that's warded now. But at the end of the day, they've still lost 3 kills in this mid lane.
Tower is under attack.
Bottom lane, Yim. He's up to 600 gold. Let's see what build this Spectre goes for. If he goes for a more sort of early game type build, phase the drums. 430. What a magician. He's 4-0. He's 4-0. 3 of those being solo kills. There's only been 1 assist from Chuan. Ferrari just beast moding up this mid lane. He's just crushing Orenda single-handedly with this Quaswex Invoker. And Exort typically known for having slightly more killing power because of the Sunstrike and the damage output of Exort spells, but Quaswex has a lot of killing potential as well. And this is fast phase boots, double robe of the Magi. He is absolutely huge. 430 Invoker, man. This guy, don't question him. The best Invoker in the Eastern scene. And, well, I don't know if he's... Ice may argue that, but he's definitely up there, Ferrari. As far as Invoker players goes, you've got like your Ices, your Ferraris, your Dendis, and it's a small list after that of people who match up. YYF's now got back up in the bottom lane. Nyx Assassin's here. This is where, well, Vanguard not up yet for the Spectre. But, sure, he's got the HP regen at the Ring of Health, but without the Vanguard, he's in trouble. There's going to be an Impale from the Frog. Nicely played from Chuan. Luckily, the Dazzle's there with some heals as well as a Grave. Grave actually used a bit preemptively, not entirely needed, but prevent the chase from being... Don't keep your eyes on this guy. 430, man. What are you doing? Making my life hard as a caster. He keeps getting solo kills all over the place.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I just can't keep my eyes off of him. Like, IG go for a kill bottom, but it's the kill mid that actually happens. And Orenda now, Stormspirit comes back, but he's 0-3 all of a sudden. That was the AA going down, but holy moly. Is this just straight up, like, over? Ferrari 430 auto, Invoker auto win? Is that what we're seeing here? He's got his first Oblivion staff. I would have loved to see some, like, not even troll items. Like, go for something like a Shadow Blade. Go for something clowny. I guess you don't need Shadow Blade. You've got Ghost Walk, but a man can dream. A man can dream.
Serpent
Ward's now dropped at the top lane. They're going to look to pressure this tier 2. AA can come in, try and draw creep aggro. He will do so with a Cold Feet. With the Siege Creep and Serpent Wards, this tower's still going to take a decent chunk of damage. Next creep wave's still far away, and Z going to go in once again. He knows he wants to keep the Siege Creep alive for this push, and if he does so, he'll take a bit of damage, but he'll get this tower. He'll time-lapse most of the damage off, and there's your creep wave.
Is under attack.
Siege Creep going to get the tower, so another missed tower last hit, unfortunately. Looks like for once, he gets away. This no Stampede. Yeah, Stampede was used. 290 would have gone down mid lane again, but luckily the Centaur used his Stampede to save his life. And Spectre now has a Vanguard, but 5 kills to nothing. 9 minutes into the game. IG just cruise control right now. These guys are just not showing any mercy.
Radiant's middle
Mid tier 1 tower going to go down. As looks like YYF at the bottom lane. He's got phase boost. He's got 1400 gold from all this tower gold. Well, Orenda are going to have to start dreaming big. It is your WPC model. Dream it, do it. And, well, I don't even know if the dream is there for a comeback in this game. It's already a massive 7.5k gold deficit. Experience 5k behind. I don't even know if you can dream up a comeback in your wildest dreams. This is just huge. This is not what the Orenda we saw in their last couple games. This is a team who took a game off Titan. They beat the CIS team, which is the team which Black is standing in for in China. So, definitely by no means pushovers, but IG is making them look like pushovers. Let's keep our eyes on Ferrari. It really feels like you can't turn your eyes away. Has he got Orchid? No, he doesn't. He just has double Oblivion Staff. And this... Oh, Storm! He gets mana burnt. Okay, he's got 1 charge and a bottle. He's gonna be kept alive here. Once this Orchid's finished, he's screwed. And he may be screwed anyways. Are there any invokes? Nothing to invoke, but he's just gonna rook to right-click him down. Ferrari going forward. The pull is there, but that's gonna pull him outside the cult team. Maybe Spectre gonna ulti, and Ferrari is in over his head. Needs a Ghost Walk. Doesn't have one. Stormspirit finally gets a kill. Ferrari for 30. I think his head got a little bit too big for himself, for his body. But hey, I don't blame him for going for that one. He thought he had it.
Dazzle!
I like what someone in the Twitch chat's screaming up. He's like, let's see some Ghostwalk Radiance Invoker. It was still a fantastic, lovely little clip that was up on Reddit the other day. Well, no, when I say the other day, it was probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, where Invoker was just ghost walking around with a Radiance, getting kills. Probably shouldn't talk about it. Otherwise I might get banned, guys. Let's be quiet. Oh, the Reddit mods don't know. It doesn't hurt anyone. It's going to stay that way. Don't let him know. Back towards the mid lane. Nyx Assassin, now level 6, so he's got Vendetta online, and looks like Faith wants to roam around the map. He's got Serpent Wards. I think they're going to make a move towards his bottom lane. Spectre could be a potential kill target, and I think with Horn on cooldown, he's definitely a viable kill. He's there with a Grave, but what's Spectre going to do? He's maybe going to pick up a TP scroll so he can TP out? No, picks up the claws, so that means no TP out. You can't do any sort of Grave TP shenanigans. So NATO EMP going to start things off, and this is a dead Spectre. Dazzle can't even go in with a Grave. He'll just be both of them dead, so he leaves the Spectre to die, and this tier 1 bottom tower should go down to the Serpent Wards. They may not even need the Serpent Wards for the tier 1. They may try save it and go for the tier 2. We'll wait and see exactly what the plan's going to be. Faith is just going to drop him. Figure, let's just get this as fast as possible. And Faith, 2k gold. Is he going straight Blink? Like, he's Arcane Boots. Let's get Blink.
Is under attack.
Yeah, Ultimate is online now. It's going to go flying in, but that's just a bit of harass, which is just going to get shrugged off by IG for the most part. Juan's still prowling around near the in the enemy jungle, and Orenda just so limited right now. There's a Blink on Faith. The Arcane Boots up on Chuan means he's got a decent enough mana pool sustain, although he's probably going to go back for the Arcane Boot. Maybe just straight 4-star, because you do get some intelligence from the Staff of Wizardry build up there, so it's where you can, in theory, maybe skip the Arcane Boot. But Centaur now with a Blink. This is going to be big for Orenda. This Centaur Blink needs to make kills happen and just buy him some space to get Stormstripe back in the game, to get Spectre on towards his next item. Like, he hasn't even finished his phase boots, so. Orchid now complete for the Invoker. And this is where he's got 6 points in Wex. He can start moving around the map in that Ghost Walk with Ghost Walk plus Cold Snap and then set up kills. We'll have Ghost Walk, Cold Snap, then he can invoke to a Tornado to finish off kills or possibly an EMP depending what he wants to go for. And he's got a ton of killing potential with this Orchid. He can kill anyone on the map on his own. Well, the exception being with Centaur Stampede. Maybe the Stampede can save someone, but like the Spectre who's tanky, but even someone like the Dazzle, the Stampede's not going to save him. The Cold Snap will lock him down enough that the Stampede movement speed won't keep him alive. Probably just the Centaur who can be saved by... sorry, the Centaur and the Spectre who have the HP to maybe survive it. YWF, he's gone for a Midas. Because he's got so much farm and so much out of that offlane, he may as well pick one up, and it'll get him well on towards his next couple of items fairly fast. Oh boy, these net worths. Ferrari, 7k almost. Highest on the Radiant side, the 4k net worth on the Spectre. And looks like they're poised up to go for Roshan. They've got the Serp Mods here. Looks like, yep, they're going to go in. They'll drop the Serp Mods. IG just so methodical with their play. They get the 2 towers top. They swing, well, they don't even swing mid. Invoker just solo pushes mid tower. They swing off lane. They kill the Spectre. They get the T1 tower. Now they go Roche. And there's nothing Orenda can do. Even if they knew this Roche was happening, like, sure, you've got a Storm Initiation, you've got a Blink Central, but they're so far behind on farm and items that I think engaging into this Invoker is just a death trap. There's phase boots down your Spectre, but down the mid lane, IG will go. Every time Serpent Wards are up, IG are getting a tower, or getting a Roshan. They're making sure every Serpent Ward is an objective. Blink, Hex, Dead Storm Spirit. Ferrari with the Cold Snap last hit. Some stat pattern coming in from the Magician. Ferrari. 7 kills all going his way.
Middle tower is
Blink,
under attack.
mana burn. Get silence up. The EMP from the high ground going to do a bit of damage. He manages to just avoid it. There is going to be a swarm for the Weaver. Ferrari wants to chase this one down. He's got Invoke to Blink Central, so I'm not sure if he saw that one coming, but Telegrave is there. Now the Spectre ulti and Ferrari slowed up. He's got Aegis though. I don't think they kill him twice. The Hoof Stomp's still on cooldown, and there's Twan as well. Off some protection, but Ferrari... The 2 deaths this game, one was Ferrari actually dying, the second the Aegis, have both been from like
Radiant's middle
getting
tower
way
is
too
under
overconfident
attack.
and cocky. But hey, it doesn't matter at all. IG just so far ahead now. They haven't got Servant Wards,
Dire's
but
bottom tower
they feel like
is
they'll get
under
this
attack.
T2 tower regardless, and I think
Radiant's
they're damn
middle
right.
tower is under
Ice Blast
attack.
gets launched out. We'll catch 2, but that's not going to change too much about this push. I think the push will continue, and Faith has gone back for Arcane Boots, so this will help sustain his mana.
Radiant's
Especially
top
when he's going to
tower
use
is
Blink
under
Hex
attack.
initiations as well as the Serpent Wards. He needs that extra boost to his mana pool. This
Dire's
T2 looks like
bottom
should be
tower
brought
is under
down.
attack.
Pushing the high ground going to be tricky.
Radiant's
They haven't
middle
gone Exile
tower is under
Invoker.
attack.
They've got Serpent Wards, but even then, you look at Orenda with Blink, high ground advantage, with Blink initiation from Centaur, with Ice Blast, potential to maybe take a fight, but
Radiant's
I don't even
middle
want to look at the
tower
goal
has
graph now,
fallen.
guys. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't bear to see it. Not going to be a kill, sure. Yeah, let's say Twan. What? It wasn't. I mean, not a silly play by any means. It was just a casual bit of harass there. I think the Vendetta may be about to wear off regardless. Maybe trying to force out a Haunt or something, but the Haunt's still on cooldown. Luo on the Weaver will have a completed Lincoln Sphere 16 minutes in. This game is... it's really getting ugly. And Orenda going to go for a big smoke up here. I think they feel they really have to make something happen. And if this doesn't work, this may be just the point where they're like, well, let's try our luck in game 2, because I'm not sure what else they can have go their way. Spectre's smart. Farming at the top lane, he can always haunt in, but this is something IG know. They see Spectre alone top, and they realize Orenda can have 4 heroes anywhere on the map. And Lifesteal, maybe them scam out. Storm's going to zip in. It's actually Ferrari! Again!
Perishes.
Live by the sword, die by the sword. Ferrari's aggression, once again getting the best of himself. Not so much aggression there, that was more just curiosity. He was looking to go get some info, looking to go scout some people out. And, uh-oh, mid lane. There's a Lifestealer coming in, and there's a Hex. Possibly a kill here. Stampede going to come out. There's your Shackles. YWF may not have enough damage to him. Just level 1 Shackles. Faith is actually going to be the one going down. Double Edge to finish him off, so a bit ambitious there to try and kill the Storm Spirit. Blink Impale misses the Storm, unfortunately. You're going to be the one who cops it. IG give away a couple kills in mid-game. I talked about that Smoke Gang having to succeed, and it does. They kill Ferrari, they kill Shadow Shaman mid lane, so yeah. As good as it's going to get for Orenda at this stage of the game. And the Spectre is up to 1400 gold, so comeback's always possible when you've got the Spectre there. The Radiance will be coming later on, and Invoker going, I think he realizes like how much he's just getting punished by these disables, so he's going to go for what looks to be a BKB with this Ogre Club pickup. I think IG realized they've made a few sloppy plays there, getting picked off a couple of times. I don't know if sloppy is the right word, but just... I think they underestimated what Orenda, or just misread what Orenda were doing there. They maybe thought they were just sitting in their base, sitting behind the Spectre, but they were smoked out of their base. So they're going to make sure they stay grouped up as 5. We'll drop the Serpent once here. Should be able to push down this tier 2 tower.
Under attack.
Small contest coming in with the Ice Blast being thrown, but Orenda, they just need to catch up on farm. They're not going to come and actually defend this one. So the Ice Blast will slow the push, but the push is going to definitely succeed in this tier 2 tower.
Dyer's
So.
top tower
No
is
ages
under
for
attack.
some time. Roshan at least 4
Radiant's
minutes
bottom
away.
tower is
And
Radiant's
IG,
bottom
I think at this
tower
point,
has
maybe
fallen.
by a gem, maybe look to get complete map control, starve at their opponent. I don't think they
Dyer's
can
top
really push
tower
high
is
ground
under
until Aegis.
attack.
They have got Serpent Wards, but just level 1 Serpent Wards. Yeah, I like this. Go for some smoke ganks, look for some pickoffs. Weaver going to TP top. They want the Deso on the Weaver probably as well as the next Aegis before they try push high ground. And they show Weaver top. They're trying to find the pickoff bottom lane. Smoked up here. Spectre, don't push out. Don't push out. Oh, it's so hard to watch. There's your Blink Hex with an Infest Bomb as well. The Tornado there. Spectre not going to get a chance to cast anything. The Grave will keep him alive just that little bit longer. There's your Blink Hoofstop. Only catches that one. They lose to Shadow Shaman. Spectre's still alive as well. Nicely played from Orenda. The Dazzle just where he needed to be, and IG thought they had pulled a fast one on Orenda, but it was Orenda who had the upper hand there with the Shallow Grave sitting behind him. .290 at the mid lane. He's got his first Oblivion staff, but still a bit of ways to go before he can really offer too much to this team. 4 kills to 7. Is the dream real? Maybe Orenda have dreamt some sort of a comeback up. 1800 gold for your Spectre. It's all about that Radiance now. Even with a Radiance though, there's Magic Immune in your lifesteal. Your Weaver's going to have a Desolator, I imagine, after his Lincolns. And that to me is the big timing window. Deso Weaver will come probably at the same time as the BKB Invoker, and then also the next Aegis. So it'll be Aegis, Deso Lincolns, BKB Invoker, as well as Lifesteal with a Sanj and Yasha. And that's the timing when they go high ground. And you got to look at what are Orenda going to have at that timing. Aghanim Scepter,
Of 3
no.
cells.
Radiance, unlikely. Maybe he'll have it. I think Spectre will probably be just hitting his Relic at that timing. If he has his Radiance, they've got a good chance of holding. But if he's just got the Relic, I think IG will actually be able to take Raxes around that sort of like 23 to 24 minute mark. Centaur, he doesn't really need much more as far as item progression goes. It's a Storm Orchid. That's actually going to be the one item which could be up at that point. He still needs another like 1.5k-ish. So it's definitely feasible. And that's, I think, going to be a goal for Orenda. They know this push is coming probably with the next Roshan. They want to make sure they have as much as they can as far as items go. So that's going to be your Storm Orchid. They want the Spectre Radiance, but they probably need to prioritize giving Storm as much farm as the Spectre at this point. Dazzle now going to pick up a smoke. I'd love to see, yeah. I think this is a good idea for Orenda to go for another 4-man smoke. Have Spectre farming one lane, have 4 heroes smoked up in another. And they're smart about it, because the first time they did this, Spectre was off farming alone. Next time Spectre was off farming alone, he actually had the Dazzle behind him. So they're really using mind games to get back in this game. IG never know whether these 4 heroes are smoked up looking for kills or sitting behind the Spectre. Because Dazzle can always protect the Spectre by sitting behind him with the Shallow Grave. And that's what happened at the bottom lane. The time before that, it was Spectre farming alone at top lane, and they went for a smoke, caught out the Invoker. So it's really some just... They're mixing up their play enough that it's hard for IG to read what exactly they're doing. Like IG now, they actually decide, look, we don't know where they are. We don't know if they're smoked up or if they're actually seen behind Spectre. Let's back off. Make sure we play fairly defensively. Apart from Chuan, who's going to push forward a little bit, but it's pretty hard to lock down with a Blink Dagger as well as Carapace and Impale. Now, they're all spotted up by this Observer Ward, unfortunately. So something that they'd love to get dewarded, although they don't actually know it's there. How long on Roshan are we looking at? We'll find out in just a second. The Storm Spirit, the Orchid, it's real. 1k gold away. It's coming soon. Meanwhile, top lane, it will be Spectre now up to 3k gold. So definitely not bad from him. YYF, Sanjin Yasha, I think is coming out to him now. Yeah, that's his Sanjin Yasha completed as well. So by the time they take Roshan and maybe actually pushing with this Desolator on Weaver, he may well be on the way towards his Basher or whatever comes next after the Sanjin Yasha. I think Basher pretty good for the extra lockdown against Storm, against Spectre as well. But looking at the net worth, that's where I sure Orenda these last few little pickoffs have been a nice little thing for them, but it's really just a very, very small effect on the actual standing of the overall game. The one big thing that'll change the momentum is going to be the Spectre Radiant. Well, not so much change the momentum, but slow down the IG snowball. I think IG will still be getting further and further ahead, even when the Radiance is up, because Spectre will have Vanguard Radiance, but he's still got just like around 1200-ish HP, which is still very squishy when you look towards one Tornado EMP going to burn his mana, the Orchid can amplify damage, you've got Weaver who's going to have a Desolator, and then burst extra damage output coming from Serpent Wards, from nukes, from the lockdown. Nyx Assassin and Shadow Shaman provide a ton of disable. And that's where this game's going to be very, very tricky for these Orenda heroes. Yim, though, still persistent, and he wants his Radiance, and he's going to get his way up there. It is coming. It's going to, and it looks like it's going to be there before the next push. Luckily for Orenda, this Roshan's quite a long respawn. It's coming up in 35 seconds now, but Yim will have at least his Relic and possibly most of his Radiance by the time this push comes. There's the BKB though, so let's talk about this timing. They got the BKB up. They'd love to get Shadow Shaman level 11 for the timing as well, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The problem is they're going to kill Roshan, and they've got to wait. They probably use Serpent Wards to kill Roshan, which means they're going to have to wait even longer before they go push. They'll have to wait for the Serpent Wards to come off cooldown again. So I'm pretty sure at this point we are going to see Radiance up before the push comes, which is good news for Orenda. Not to say this Radiance is going to win them the game, but it's a start. Oh, the Relic. Chuan's hunting. He's looking for it. I don't think he saw the... I love this safe play with the Courier. Very smart against the Nyx Assassin. Orenda covering their bases for the most part. Now Roshan respawns. IG have not poked their head in just yet. We see them once as soon as they figure it out. They know there's only a max 3 minutes. And that was like a 2.5 beyond the 8-minute initial. And Faith is going to scout it out, blink in, and IG are going to now make their way into the Roshan pit. Ferrari going to be hitting level 14 after this, so he's got the first point in Exalt now, so he has access to more spells. With the Alacrity, he'll have Deafening Blast in these team fights if he wants to go for it. So definitely some other more useful spells theoretically with the even just the single point in the Exalt. And Storm, the Orchid's going to be up as well, so for Orenda, it's not just going to be a Radiant, it's going to be an Orchid too. YYF actually takes a bit of damage here. They need Lure in there. They're actually going to... I think he's not looking to contest this, he's looking for a kill on YYF who got Ice Blasted, but YYF got the hell out of there, so... Bit of an ambitious haunt, but I guess he figures why not. If it gets a kill for some chance on YYF, it's worth it. But once again, we see Ferrari pick himself up an Aegis and ready to march down this mid lane. The Orchid on the Storm is there. Uh-oh. Mid lane, Chuan and Shadow Shaman, they actually catch up the AA, so... He's on the sidelines for 30 seconds, but pushing during that 30 seconds not going to be easy without the Serpent Wards. The one thing they do have now is Desolate on Weaver, which does give him some good base-breaking potential with the minus armor. We'll see the maxed out point on Wex here. Now he's going back and getting some more points on the actual Invoke. He's got his second point finally. Cold Snap onto your Spectre. It's annoying more than anything, and it looks like Lure will just start chipping away. Gets one Gemini attack off and does 43 damage. Big play. They'll clear out the creep wave. Look at your high ground here. YYF pretty useful for breaking the base as well, especially when you look at the minus armor on the tower. AA is back alive though. So look to see that Ice Blast go flying fairly soon. That's where IG are playing still fairly cautiously. Not willing to make too many mistakes with this high ground push.
Dire's top tower.
And they decide, look, it's not going to work. We need our Serpent Wards, and also there's farm being missed out on the bottom lane. So 15 seconds before Serpent Wards back up, and YYF TPs himself down bottom. He's up to 3k gold. And I don't even know if you want to go Basher. I think you go items that help you break the base, which is maybe your Assault Caress. Or... yeah, Assault Caress definitely not bad. If you're going to go more fighting items, I think rather than Basher, maybe even go Maelstrom into Mjolnir. But I think Assault Caress may be what he goes for here. Just because right now their main struggle is breaking the base. And that's where the extra bonus armor for yourself and your team, as well as the minus armor, which applies to buildings and heroes, is really useful. Centaur leading the charge here towards the top lane. Shadow Shaman's invis though, and that's actually problematic. They're going to Stampede in, Blink of Storm. Shadow Shaman, who's he actually going to disable? He's going to Hex up on the Storm here. This may actually keep Lure alive. He gets the time-lapse off. Now Lure's going to turn around and try to fight his way out of this one. Expecting him to hold himself in. Lure now in trouble. He's going to be burst down. Shadow Shaman dies with him. 430 showing up, but the fight's already lost perhaps, although may find himself some kills here. 290 trying to get rid of the Beetle. Will succeed in doing so, but now he's silenced up. Is there any disables? One or two more right clicks. They get the kill just barely. Centaur now. No TP, but he's got a Blink Dagger, and it looks like Ferrari doesn't actually know where he is. Elsewhere, it's... oh, Spectre. Sunstrike not going to be needed. Nice infest coming out from YYF. Catches him out. 2 for 2 trade. And that's like a smoke gank which looked really good for Orenda. They instantly kill 2 heroes, and it's a 3v5, but then those 3 heroes just managed to fight the 5 of Orenda, because Orenda had to blow everything. They blew their load just to get those 2 heroes. But Spectre, he bought the Radiance before he died. That's the good news. So there is a Radiance for your Spectre. How much this is going to matter, we'll have to wait and see. Dazzle Yi now towards this bottom lane. He does not want to poke his head out too far. He doesn't know where too many of these heroes are, but still, time being bought. Centaur going to finish off a mech for the team, so IG. You make sure they make better use of some of these timing windows of theirs. They're giving Orenda tons of time to just catch up, farm up some nice little items of theirs, and Ferrari now going to Ghost Walk up, going to go looking around, and this is where Orenda probably want to buy a gem. Sentry Wards alone are nice, but against Ghost Walk as well as Weaver, as well as Nyx Assassin, 3 heavy invis heroes, you need a gem. It's not ideal. It's very likely you may die and lose it, but if you're dying and losing a team fight, then you've probably lost the game anyways, and you're likely to lose a team fight if you don't have proper detection. Well, it seems they want to go at least think about the high ground. YYF, he's got 3k gold. Has he bought much? He's going to go hard. That was the okay. Let's see. The other good item for lifesteal for breaking bases is actually heart. Doesn't sound like it doesn't give you much damage. Doesn't help you with armor. But the main thing for the heart for breaking the base is the HP regen you get from it. Not to mention the raw HP and survivability, because it's so hard to engage onto a lifestealer if he's got like 3k HP. And on top of that, he's going to just be chipping away at the tower bit by bit, and then he backs off. Even if he takes damage, gets him down to half HP, the heart regen, the passive regen, heals him back up, and he's good to keep on fighting. So heart's actually a really good item for lifesteal if you're trying to break bases. If you're trying to team fight lots and go for kills, not the best item, but for the purpose right now for IG, it's definitely very valuable. And there we go, he's at over 3k HP. 290, oh, he gets silenced up. That's trouble for him. He made his strafe go down. He's going to get graved up. This will actually save his life. He does get the zip out. The ball lightning is safety. Now there's a counter stampede. Hoofstomp catches out 2. They're going to lose faith to start the fight here. Lua getting low as well. Can time lapse out of this one. Will do so. Ferrari pops his BKB, and this tier 3 tower actually getting chipped away at being sieged down. They're going to lose Spectre now as well. And Spectre doesn't look like he has a buyback. Storm's now back in the fight after healing himself back up. He wants YYF. YYF getting low. Being getting kited around by 290. 290 finally gets the zip onto the high ground, but that's exactly where Invoker's waiting for him. Waiting for him with an Orchid as well. Ferrari going to get the kill. He doesn't even care if he goes down. He does end up going down, but the Aegis pop. Now on the low ground, Dazzle going to go down as well, and it looks like we will see the tier 3 towers going down. The Raxus should fall as well. Spectre will buy back. We'll look to try and hold this one. Weaver has Alacrity. Storm going to buy back as well. This is Orenda saying we want to fight this, but IG, I think they've got themselves Raxus. No glyph, and with the minus armor from the Desolator, the lifesteal with the Heart of Tarrasque, engaging into this is just damn near impossible. Raxus will fall at 30 minutes in the game. A bit later than I would have expected IG to get Raxus, but they were very methodical about this one, making sure to play it as safely as possible after a few bad fights. They did not want that comeback to be real. And now they force out 2 buybacks, and this is where holding gets really tricky. Servant Ward's only on cooldown now for 30 more seconds, so IG can wait that out. And I don't even think they need to wait it out. I think they may just look to start chipping on this high ground. With the Lifestealer as tanky and effective as he is right now at sieging, they can just keep on going. Wait for the Servant. When the Servant Wards are up, they'll use them, but they don't have to just wait it out for them. They can just go in with the Rage, right-click the tower for a couple of seconds, back off when the Rage is about to wear off, and put Lifestealer in no danger whatsoever. Lure just gets 1 or 2 right clicks, and now YYF onto the high ground he goes.
Dire's top tower
There is an Orchid that he doesn't have to worry about, which may prevent him from using that Rage, but he's got the luxury of knowing that there is Blink Initiator Sing behind him. He's got a Blink with Nyx Assassin, Blink Shadow Shaman, and the Invoker with Tornado EMP probably Sing behind him as well. And it's going to be actually a Alacrity Cold Snap, so no Tornado or EMP, but he can quickly get that Tornado up if he's going to need it. And there we go, onto the high ground. The Alacrity Siege unit. I love it. Look at this siege grip, just hit him like a truck. Siege grips on steroids. Now there we go. The initiation with the Ice Blast. Stormfront zips the low ground, realizes he needs to go back to the high ground. Spectre got 1, it's a Shadow Shaman. Now Spectre's still full HP. The BKB Invoker, they're going to bring down the Centaur first. Now the Silence on the Spectre, and without the Spectral Dagger, he can't get to the high ground. He doesn't have that pathing. He's graved up, he's low. He's going to go down without a buyback. It's a fancy kill for a couple heroes. It's a 2 for 2 trade so far. Invoker getting low. He does not actually have the Aegis. He's actually Ghost Walking his way out of there. Now the chase is on, and it looks like IG
barracks are under attack.
They get themselves a second set of racks, and with that, Sunstrike, not on the point. 4 racks is down. It's over, yeah. Orenda going to call GG, but it's solid game one from IG. Orenda, though, they put up a fantastic hold. IG just kind of allow them to get back in the game bit by bit. In the end, though, it's a 32 and a bit minute victory. IG take game one, as expected. They're probably not expected to falter in the mid game there, but they had a fantastic, dominant early game. They bounced back, and it's fairly business for them. I mean, looking at them in their booth now, these guys look pretty chill, pretty calm. Chuan's not animated like he normally is, so if they were upset about that, you'd know. You'd see Chuan up and standing and looking a lot more animated than that. So for now, they'll look at that and say, look, wasn't our best game, but it was definitely a good game, even nonetheless. Like, we didn't have to play perfectly. So IG get the job done in game number one, guys. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, game two, IG versus Orenda will be coming your way. WPC action continues. Don't go anywhere unless you're going over to the Beyond the Summit 2 stream. Beyond the Summit 2, we've got some awesome SEA Dota live. It's going to be Titan versus Orange, as well as Scythe vs. First Departure. So 2 MPGL series over on Beyond the Summit 2, guys. So tune in there with Pimp if you want to watch some SEA Dota. But for now, guys, Chinese Dota continues on Beyond the Summit 1 with myself, Gods. If you want to follow me, give me any feedback, tweet at me at BTSGods. I'm also facebook.com/BTSGods. Games continue, though, after a short break. Stay tuned.